Okay, we're going to be asking the question, which side should the eagle be facing? Should it be facing its right side, uh, where it's holding the olive branch, or should it be facing its left side, where it's facing the arrows? You notice on both right and left claws, on the right claw it's holding the olive branch, and on the left claw it's holding the arrows. The arrows means war. The olive branch means peace. 2025, President Trump gets elected. And then we've been having a lot of issues where the left has been pushing back the right, and all the things that's been coming up here recently. This is October the 9th, 10th, and 11th, and we're facing some new challenges right now. And we're going to be talking about that. Which side should the eagle be facing? Personally, I think we should be facing the arrow side, because we have a war on multiple fronts, inside and outside.
My great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died. the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory, may God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Conservative act.
Okay, Charlie Kirk was instrumental in getting President Trump reelected in 2024. And I actually didn't know anything about Charlie Kirk until he was assassinated. I didn't follow Charlie Kirk, but I seen him. I heard about it actually the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I heard it through a friend of mine, and she mentioned it on Facebook in text on Messenger, and then I actually seen the video. And to see someone like this, a conservative young person, 31 years of age, who died on Wednesday, September the 10th, 2025, was a tragedy. And what Charlie Kirk, and I've learned ever since this happened, I learned a lot about Charlie Kirk, and I've been following a lot of the stuff that he's been doing and what he was trying to accomplish, and the methods, the peace and turning point organization that he started up, and the goals that they were trying to meet. In 2020, we seen our country destroyed by BLM and Antifa, and somewhat America was awake a little bit. This was still under Trump's watch, under his first term, and sometimes the Proud Boys may have went up against BLM and Antifa, and some of the Confederates and Patriots, and the BLM went after these Confederate monuments, and which they had no business doing that, and destroying property, killing people, burning, looting, and everything else. And that all started because there was a black man that was supposedly was killed. He was on drugs, on fentanyl, saying he couldn't breathe. And if BLM or whatever organization had problems with this particular police organization, it had been one thing for them to take that issue up with that police department if there was any issues. But it turned out that George Floyd was actually in the wrong in this situation, and but even if it was the police's fault, they should have directed it up there instead of turning it into a nationwide event, kind of like what happened in the Rodney King situation. In the Rodney King situation, in the I believe it was in 92, and that was another situation. I didn't know that much about it, but I remember watching it on CNN and other networks, and it was very similar. And President H.W. Bush had to step in and send in I believe either the 82nd or 101st Airborne into Los Angeles to put a stop to it. And they finally did put a stop to it, and it got really bad. But believe it or not, what happened in 2020, and this happened around the same time as this COVID-19 thing, or they tried to do the mandates for COVID-19, and there was a lot of people that died of the results of the shots, wasn't safe. This was going on at the same time, plus the re-election of Trump. It was bad timing, and the American people were somewhat awake at that time. Now you fast forwarded to 2024, when Trump beats Kamala Harris in the November election, and it was a good time. America had a lot to celebrate. Right now, you fast forward to now, the government shut down, and they're not paying the military. We've got potential World War III with Russia, Ukraine, over there in the Middle East, Venezuela. There's a number of things going on right now after the death, excuse me, of Charlie Kirk last month. And there was a lot of stuff going on this year in 2025. But after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, this was supposed to wake up America. I've seen a number of videos where there was a number of Americans that made videos, and they said, America's woke up. And then the next thing you know, they try to do things the Charlie Kirk way, which is the peace way. We showed the video which side the American eagle is looking on, the olive branch or the arrows. And America, which we should be the eagle should be looking at the arrows, not the olive branch. A lot of people say that Charlie Kirk would want us to do everything peaceful, even under the worst circumstances. Well, there comes a time when peace no longer works, and it's come to that point right now. These people who have been making these videos on YouTube, who is saying that America has woke up, do not know what they're talking about, because America has not woke up yet. If it has woke up, they would be sending, the militia groups would be going out and confronting Antifa and BLM, who is going up against ICE and government troops. And they would be helping out and backing up the government troops. Now, a lot of the patriots are afraid that they would be rounded up like what happened on January 6th. Not saying that they have to be super close by. They could do something and protest or counter protest the Antifa and BLM and try to do everything they can to stop BLM and Antifa. And they are within their rights to do that. And I've been trying to put together something like this. But again, America is too afraid and too chicken to do that. I've talked to numerous people, and everybody's gone on the bandwagon. Well, we got to do the turning point way, the Charlie Kirk way. I was on a podcast the actual day after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and we dedicated to Charlie Kirk, and we did a Sunday broadcast a couple days later, and we were talking a little bit about Charlie Kirk. And the September the 10th, 2025 podcast, I tried to put it on the Turning Point Facebook group, and they declined it because it went against their narrative. And we even dedicated to Charlie Kirk and everything. And Charlie Kirk was 31, and he knew a lot, but he didn't know how far, and didn't know that the reach in the left is impossible. They declared war when they killed Charlie Kirk. No longer are we at peace with Antifa, BLM. Trying to reason with them on a peaceful means, I think, is insane. The transgenders, Antifa, all these people have already made up their minds. They're not going to change their ways. They've already declared war on the Americans, on the conservatives, on Trump people, and it's time that America organize and take action now. We can no longer afford to sit on our butts and think, well, Trump's going to handle this. And Trump is doing the best he can, but he can't do everything. And even though, despite the military and the police stepping in, they can't do everything because there's too many Antifa and too many illegals involved. So what I'm asking is, we need to organize and put together a game plan, and we need to do this in every state. They're going in every major city, like Chicago, Memphis, Atlanta, Georgia, Portland, Oregon, Los Angeles, different parts of the country. I think they went into New York, excuse me, Washington, D.C. And what we need to do, again, like I said, organize and put a game plan together. I'm trying to do this. Those who watch this our broadcast right now, my YouTube broadcast, needs to contact me as soon as possible. Message me. You can email me, markdavis1865@gmail.com. And then I could tell you what my phone number is, and you can call me on the phone. Or we could talk on Messenger, on Facebook, or on the Meet video messenger. And we could try to talk and try to get something put together. We can no longer sit back and say, well, America's woke up. America is sad, but America's forgot about it. Because first of all, they're not even talking about Tyler Robertson anymore, the man who killed Charlie Kirk. And they're dragging this out as long as they can. And we don't know what's going to happen with that. So in the meantime, Trump's trying to push out all the illegals, and Antifa and BLM is being supported by the left. They've received $100 million, Antifa, to continue to do what they're doing and creating chaos across the country. So I have a game plan, and we could come up with other game plans, but my game plan that I come up with, I think, can make a significant impact on Antifa and BLM. And then the government, the military, the police can do their job, and the Democrats are doing everything they can by doing this government shutdown as a payback to Trump, because they don't want to. They're trying to retaliate against the American people because they don't like the illegals being deported, and they do not have rights. They're not American citizens. So, American people, if you claim to be awoke or awake, get off your butts, okay, and organize and get with me, and we put together a winning strategy to take down BLM and Antifa. The government can't do it by themselves. It's going to take the combined efforts of the American people, and Trump's not going to ask the American people to do it unless it gets really, really bad. But if he doesn't, it don't matter. I don't know if it's ego. I don't know what it is. But as American people, we have a right to protect our country. I've heard Mark Hatfield say, well, it's coming, America, and we got to get ready. Well, it's going to be here sooner than you think. And when it comes, it's going to be too late. So it's better to take care of the action now, and instead of waiting down the line. So that's why we need to organize as soon as possible. Stop sitting on your butt. Stop making excuses, and stop saying you're awoke or you waking up after Charlie Kirk was killed. We heard that after Charlie Kirk was killed. We heard a couple of days of that, and then all of a sudden, no one said anything, because America is back the way it was before. They forgot about Charlie Kirk, and they're back the way they were. And America, the best way to describe it is they're like fair weather. They're fair weather friends. They act like they're reacting, but when everything's all calmed down, then they're back to normal. And they say, well, Trump's going to take care of it. Well, unfortunately, Antifa and BLM is a big threat, and the Muslims and everybody else, and the illegals are a big threat. So we need to participate. We need to do everything we can to put a stop and to halt the activities of BLM, Antifa, and all this what's going on right now. So you need to contact me as soon as possible. No, America's not woke up yet. America is still asleep. And when they do wake up, it'll be too late. It'll be like Red Dawn. It'll be like they're going to invade, and America will be caught off, will be caught by surprise. And it shouldn't have to be that way. We should be awake now. We should be awake now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not a year from now. Now. We should be awake now. This has been coming, and this is the time to do something. And don't procrastinate and say, well, I can't do this. I got to work. They said that same thing in 2020 after BLM was doing what they're doing. No, you can't afford to sit on your butt anymore. If you really care about your country, you'll get off your butt. Stop making excuses. Stop saying it work, okay? Because you're fooling yourself if you think you're of waking up. I hear a lot of people going, yeah. And after Charlie Kirk was killed, and people were upset, and understandably so, I was too. But I actually thought this would really wake up America. But people went back to what they were doing before Charlie Kirk was killed. Back to normal. That's not the way America should be. I'm related to Thomas Jefferson. I'm related to John Hancock. I'm related to George Washington. I'm related to warriors. I had relatives that fought in every war in American history. I have warriors that fought. I'm descendant of the Vikings. I'm descendant of warriors. Okay? And I believe there's a time for peace and there's a time of war. And we're at a time of war. Okay? I have relatives that were knights. True warriors. I have Native American blood in me. Warriors is in my bloodstream. The time for peace is over with. The time for war is now. We tried peace the Charlie Kirk way. He did the best he could. We can't do peace all the time. He tried it. They declared war by killing him.